Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Lunch and Learn Zoom Fridays. Only it's not Friday today, it's Saturday. We've got some special sessions going on due to the Laurel Langmeyer 3-day virtual marketplace, and I've invited my network as well as some of the new people over to join us so that they can kind of get a good taste and feel of what it is exactly that we're doing here. As most of you know, I always start out like this. There's something magical that happens when a group of entrepreneurs get together in the same room. Not only do you make great connections, you build lifetime friendships, you can generate leads, and you solve your most pressing problems. But the kicker is you walk away inspired, reinvigorated, and empowered to rise higher, go farther, faster. You know why this is possible? Because you're being exposed to some of the most creative minds on the planet, the entrepreneur. My name is Nancy Gaskins, and I specialize in small business development. I help entrepreneurs just like you discover creative ways to grow your business. We leverage the power of referral partners, masterminds, and cooperative projects. You're here today based on one of those projects, and this has come out of a mastermind group, believe it or not. It's unbelievable. Could you use a frontline profit machine to help grow your business? Here's the deal. We need to know what you need. What do you need? The more we know, the more you grow. Do you need help with your elevator pitch, leads, introductions, sales, graphic design, a platform to launch your speaking career? How about cash to launch your business? You want to write a book, start a blog, launch a podcast? Maybe you just want to be a guest on one of those platforms. No matter what it is, our network can help you do that. Imagine being able to pick up the phone 24/7, get an email, or go online to get help 24/7 just by being part of our network. That is the power of knowing the right people and having all the right connections. Debbie McKinney, myself, and Olivia Vo has started this program, and we're so excited that you're here. We started doing a membership drive launch this week and for Laurel's event, and here's what you get. 52 weekly lunch and learn sessions, a free replay, and you can participate in one mid-month mastermind strategy session each month. So that's 12 masterminds, 52 lunch and learn Zoom Fridays, plus the replay, for only $65 a year. Guys, that is a steal to be able to access the virtual marketplace anywhere. This is global. We're going to allow you to use this as a lead generation tool for all of your clients, potential clients, and your friends and family, because you'll be able to offer it for free. So I encourage you to take advantage of that and use this to your benefit. So before we get started, I'd like to give you a few tips on how to make the most of your time here today and what you can expect. One of the things you need to do is make sure that you do a screenshot of the gallery view. If you don't have your screen set up for gallery view so that you're seeing everybody's page, kind of like the Brady Bunch with their names. If you don't currently have your name on there, your first and last name, please do so. Another tip that you need to recognize is some of us have put something beside our name, like mine is Small Biz Development. Okay, that's what I do, and so that helps brand me a little bit. We'll be later talking about how you can change your background screen. Debbie and myself, we have that. Liz, I say you've got some cool stuff in your background. You need to be doing that because that helps with your branding. The other thing is sometimes people drop in and drop off. And so just because you've got a picture like right now, in 10 minutes, there may be somebody new that's come on board. So what you need to do throughout your session is over here, open up your chat. And the way that you do that is you scroll down to the bottom. Most of us will have a more with 3 little dots. Click on that and choose chat, and your group chat will open up. Go down below where it says everyone and the little arrow and click on that. Now, not everybody in every event will allow this to open up, and the way that you know it's not allowed is you'll only see the host's name there. You won't see all the attendees' name. I open mine up because this is a networking group and I want you to be able to contact one another. We're building referral partnerships. That's what we do. So you need to take a screenshot after you click that. And sometimes you have to scroll down and get a couple of screenshots in order for that to work. The other thing to make it really nice, to make sure that you're connecting, is when we go through our pitches, I'll have you to put those in your contact and your group chat over here so people can contact you. You will save this chat at the end of the session by going over at the bottom of your chat box. You'll see the 3 dots. Click on that, and it'll say Save Chat. And I do want to give you a recommendation, because sometimes you're involved in a whole lot of these. So you need to make sure that you rename it to today's date and Lunch and Learn, Zoom Friday, Zoom Saturday, ever what you want to name it, to make sure that you don't get your chats mixed up in your files on your computer. The way that we work typically on our Lunch and Learn Zoom Fridays is we have 30 minutes of small business development training. I have a guest speaker that comes on and gives us some wonderful training and tips. Right now we're doing, Olivia Vo is doing her LinkedIn one-on-one course with us, and it's really cool. She does a great job. She gives us homework, and it's not a lot. She gives us step-by-step, and one of the neatest things that she does is out by the side of her homework sheet, as she's telling you what to do, she tells you about how long it's going to take. So if you have an extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15, you can just go through there and pick a task that will take you that long. So that's been very beneficial. For our pitches, over the course of the next year, here's what we're going to be working on. We have a 30-minute pitch, a 30-second pitch, a 1.5 minute, a 3 minute, and we'll work you up to a 10-minute presentation. Those are all of the types of presentations that you need to be successful in basically any type of networking situation. So today what we're going to do is we'll be practicing our 3-minute pitch, and we're also using hashtags. So at the end of your offer, when you ask for the sale, make sure you've come up with some kind of snappy hashtag that you can use to put in the chat box, and that helps people find you. So I'm going to close out here. Debbie, do you have any announcements that you'd like to make today?
I do not. This has been fantastic, so great job.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Nancy Evans, would you like to start us out today?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, here we go. Hello, I am Nancy Evans, your stress buster for health and wellness educator. And I help people that hurt or have chronic issues to make less trips to Walgreens for their over-the-counter or pharmaceutical drugs and begin to live a more wellness active lifestyle. Who do you know that traditional medicine has left them with very few options after therapy? Either live with the condition, use drugs, or have surgery to manage those chronic issues, such as obesity, breathing, sugar, joint discomforts, and many others. But what if there was a Japanese company that has spent the last 45 years developing products that harness nature's vital energies to support natural cellular healing? They've created ways to use technologies by simply making minor adjustments to activities you already do, drinking water, walking, or sleeping. My personal transformation with these technologies actually ended up saving my Air Force career by helping me manage a knee and neck challenge. What I used was the Earth's energy in magnets, also far infrared, the sun's energy in wraps, and drinking extra magnetized pie water, hydrating water. And it could be a coincidence, but I am blessed that I am 71 years old and have avoided having to use any medication to manage chronic conditions. Maybe because I've been cocooned in these technologies. So if you have a loved one, or if you are seeking a better way to manage your chronic issues and are open to an alternative approach, then Nikan, may be your answer. What if there was that magic key that you are not aware of? My offer today is a 45-minute consultation to, one, guide you through your personalized 5 pillars of health and wellness profile. 2, explore triggers that elevate that killer stress response. And 3, strategies, simple integrated solutions. Who's ready to walk with me and begin your energy wellness journey? Type hashtag stress busters in the chat.
Okay. First thing, you have improved immensely over the last few weeks.
Thank you.
Really, really have. You've
Great
taken what
coaching.
everybody has said and you've put it to work. Now, the second thing is you're still in presentation mode. You are not doing a pitch. You're doing a
Okay.
presentation. It's fabulous and it's wonderful, but you had it right all the way up to when you said, who do you know that? Okay, you need to stop right there and then come in for your, trying to think of what the words was that you used, and ask for the appointment to learn more. Okay, but you had it all the way up there. That's all you need. You set the appointment, you know, right after you said, who do you know? That's when you stop and you listen, or, you know, you come in for your close, and you had like 3 or 4 different closes in your presentation. You know what I'm saying? You ask a couple of questions. So right there, as soon as you do that, ask for, whatever your first thing is. If you want, you said, who do you know that might have these chronic conditions, this, and then either schedule a time, you know, ask to schedule a time to meet with them so that they can learn more. So you don't have to tell them every single thing that you know right up front. You do that when you have your one-on-one with them. But anyways, that was really good. Does anybody else have any
question first, Nancy? So cut out my personal testimonial?
Well, I like that up in the front, so you have time. I mean, that first couple of sentences, then I would say your testimonial and then ask for the sale, because I think that's very valuable. But I wouldn't tell them the technology. I wouldn't tell them any of that. I would just simply, you had us. We're tired of over-the-counter drugs. You know, all of those little things. Yes, I know someone. Yes, I know someone. Absolutely. So then you want to schedule a time to talk to them a little bit more.
Okay.
Or whatever it is that you're offering.
Okay. Thank you.
By the way, I have used the Nikan products for 25 years, and I'm actually wearing one right now. Love the products. They work. And so I can attest, you don't use a product for 25 years if it doesn't work. So
absolutely. And this is one of the things, Debbie wasn't on here last night, but I gave them one of our little tips is it doesn't matter whether you're the rep for the same line in your business or whatever. If you are using those products, give each other testimonials to use. So you two do a link up. Debbie, you write her a testimonial. She'll write you a testimonial if that's one of your products. And that way you guys, you know, you can use that, and it helps everyone.
Thanks, Deb. And Nancy.
All right. Marcia.
Hi, I am Marcia LaCour from Toronto, Canada, and I am a daily accountability strategist. Oh, you know something? Nancy.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I forgot my statement. Let me start again here.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Marcia LaCour and I'm a daily accountability strategist. And I love helping people take back their life with daily accountability. I help people in daily accountability with many, you know something, go to somebody else. I'm messing it up. I need to just.
No problem.
Yeah.
Relax. It's all good. We all love you here. Liz, you're on.
There we go. Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday from here in Toronto. I teach successful business professionals who feel stuck and overwhelmed and want to connect with their mind, body, and soul so that they can move forward with energy and enthusiasm and spend 90% of their time in a peaceful and calm state. I do this because I reached that stage in my life where, you know, you keep trying all these personal development books, you keep going to all these seminars, and nothing seems to be working. You know, you get into this cycle of stress, anxiety, and overwhelm, then you feel good and you feel better for a short time, and you think these affirmations are working, and they are for a short little time. But what I do is I take that a step further. I show you how to turn the beliefs that you have into decisions, new decisions that you can make, and then find evidence for it. And what I found is that successful people often feel stuck. And the stuck comes from because you know where you are, you know where you want to be, but oftentimes they feel like they're on this roller coaster of health, fitness, mindset. And what they really want is just to have peace and calm in their lives. And you get frustrated because you can't seem to move forward. What they really want, what you guys really want, is to be present for your families. You want to have the time, money, freedom to really spend time with them. You think that the problem is you have to do everything for yourself, or that you have to work harder instead of smarter. So you end up taking another seminar or another book, or reading another book. But the real problem is that you start criticizing yourselves and you put pressure on yourselves, and you do more when it comes to your business. And that, of course, reinforces the fear, anxiety, and stress, and the belief that you're not good enough. So what I help people do is to examine the patterns in their life that aren't serving them and eliminate the thinking that's causing the problem. And that was my story. And I live to tell about it. So who do you know that complains about being stressed, anxious, and overwhelmed, that they can't seem to get further, you know, that they keep doing everything, but can't seem to get further along in their lives? Life isn't unfolding as it should. Does anybody ever hear that from anyone? Put your hand up if you hear that from some people. Right. Well, just let them know that I'm here so that they can have serendipity in their life. Oh, I didn't put an offer in. Oh, normally what I do is I have a breakthrough session, and it's about 75 minutes in length, and I normally charge about $150 for it. But because I love Nancy and I love this forum and you guys are all amazing, I'm offering it today for $47.
Wow, that is a deal.
So I'm going to put hashtag serendipity in the comments there, and let me know.
Love that hashtag. Love that hashtag. One of the things that you guys probably noticed was, look how nice her delivery was. She was just calm, cool, collected, flowed really well. Now, most of us are working on our pitches and we've revamped them 100 times over the last 10 days. So we're all still working on them. So that's cool. That's what we're doing. That's what we're all here for. But I just want to commend you for that. Your delivery was superb. And there's always room for improvement. So when I get done speaking here, I want y'all to give her some feedback. Notice that she did give a special offer. That's one of our tips to the trade on how you can make people take action immediately. Sometimes, you know, if they don't think that it doesn't matter whether they make a sale today or next week. Some products and services, that's okay. But some of us are trying to meet a deadline and make some sales this weekend to be in Laurel's competition. So one of the things that you might do is just what she did. You offer some type of a special discount or a special deal. I did the same thing. You can't tell me anywhere you can get 52 virtual networking events for $65 a year, plus a mastermind, 12 masterminds. You can't. I know. I looked. So anyways, the other thing I want to ask is, if you'll notice, and we did discuss this, she's got that beautiful poster in the background. I love that picture of you. Even though, believe it or not, it's in the background, it's very clear. It looks really lovely. So maybe you can tell us some tips on, you know, show us some more of your marketing materials, give everybody some ideas on some of the things that they might do in a later edition. But I do always notice that because I'm a marketing gal, and that's a beautiful, beautiful photo of you back there.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for the feedback. Yeah.
Anybody, do you have some feedback for her or questions about what she's offering?
So Liz, you are very calm and you're the epitome of what you are, you're offering. And I too noticed the background and, it's just beautiful branding and it fits in, it's all integrated. And so I can tell you put some thought and some time and have some experience in that. The only thing that I would say is there were times when you were talking about and saying what you really want or what people want. And I think it's better to reframe it as a question, because you can, and say, is this what you want? Or do you want this? Because then people, like, I think our brains think, do I want this? Do I identify it? Because if you're just making a statement, it's easy to gloss over. So it was absolutely beautiful, but that's the only comment I have.
Sorry, dogs.
Yeah. I know.
Oh, that's a great point. Thank you, Debbie. I'll
Mhm.
definitely, and trust me, guys, I've done this, like Nancy says, it comes to the point where you just have to stick to one script eventually once you massage it. Like Nancy, you did great today. And it's just a matter of just repeating it, doing over and over, and then it just flows. Thanks, Debbie, for that feedback. I'm definitely going to do that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Anybody else? We're all here to help each other rise higher. Marsha, would you like to go next?
Yes, thank you. Hi, I am Marsha LaCour from Toronto, Canada, and I'm a daily accountability strategist. I offer daily accountability in many areas to entrepreneurs. So let's have a chat to connect to see where you would like daily accountability in your life. I'm going to put my information below and you can go #accountability.
Excellent. Marsha's another one who has reframed and revamped her pitch over the last few days, and short, sweet, to the point. Loved that. Who has questions for her? I have a little something. Who's her target market?
I mentioned entrepreneurs.
I'm asking them.
Okay.
See if they were paying attention, because she had it all in there. It was a great example of how you can say only just a few sentences and you can get everything in there all at once. You want to repeat that for us, Debbie? Let's listen. Everybody listen to all of her components. I didn't mean Debbie. Sorry, Marsha.
Hello, I am Marsha LaCour from Toronto, Canada, and I'm a daily accountability strategist. I offer daily accountability to entrepreneurs in many areas. So let's have a conversation to connect to see where you would like daily accountability in your life. #accountability or text me below in the phone number provided in the chat.
Everybody hear that? Every single one of those components were there. Excellent job. Who has feedback for Marsha?
I actually do. It's funny because Marsha and I have been in the same group, the breakout group, at Laurel's event. And one of the comments, it was so funny that somebody said she sounded like a psychologist or a psychiatrist or something like that, or counselor. And your voice, and just to kind of like soften your voice, but not too much so you don't sound casual. So that was perfect today, Marsha. So I just wanted to, give you that feedback.
Actually, it was Laura Green who said when I did my first pitch.
Oh, that's right. Right.
You sound like a stern psychiatrist.
Right. It was so funny.
Now, Nancy, I have another call, so I'm going to jump off, and I want to thank you. I'll see you later today.
Okay. Thank you
Bye,
for
Marsha.
joining, Marsha.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Gary, are you ready to go?
I guess I can give it a whirl here. Hi, my name is Gary Sosmore, and I'm a career ownership coach with the Entrepreneur Source. Do you know anyone who's frustrated or unhappy in his or her job and who's open to exploring entirely new career ideas? Do you know anyone in career transition who may benefit from learning about business ownership as one possible career option? The Entrepreneur Source is a nationwide coaching firm that helps people explore alternative careers. We provide you with education, awareness, and discovery, and have access to hundreds of leading opportunities. 95% of our clients who end up in a business they admittedly would have never looked at on their own or had looked at and dismissed prematurely. We also have access to funding sources to help clients get the funds they need to move confidently into their new career. Again, my name is Gary Sosmore. I'm with the Entrepreneur Source, and I'd be pleased to help anyone you know who is open to new careers or business ideas. Call me for more information on my no fee to you career coaching practice. And I would give my phone number and that sort of thing.
We can't hear you, Nancy.
Sorry about that. Very nicely done. Again, much improvement from when I talked to you previously. You've got some very direct, very clear things that you've laid out. Excellent. For these events, again, this is a little wordy. And then on the end, I would say in the beginning, choose a couple of those things. You know, you want to tell who it is, what you do, who you can help. And then for your offer, the free consultation, that needs just a little bit work on how you're going to invite them to come meet with you. And then the last thing for these events, we want you to come up with, like I said, that little hashtag for those of you who would be interested in meeting with me and learning more and allowing me to learn more about your business. You know, that's why you might say, I'd love to meet you because you're new in our group. So I'd love to schedule a time to meet with each of you and learn more about your business and see how we can bring value to one another. That's kind of my standby that I always use. That way people are more lean into meeting with you. You listen to what they offer, see, you know, and then tell them what you do as well. And then tell them to, in the comment section, type hashtag, whatever it is, and you can find my contact information there as well. But otherwise, your delivery was very good as well. Calm, cool, and collected. And I know you're working on that. But I loved the fact that you did have it broke down this time, told us exactly who you help and what you do. So anybody else, would you offer him some feedback, please?
Hey, Gary, you're in Pensacola, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I'm in Niceville area. And so and I didn't even know that existed, and I'm sure it's very needed today. And I'm part of what is this just local, or can you help people all over the place?
No, I work all over the U.S. I work in Canada. It's all virtual, so pretty much anywhere. Even I have a client even in Australia.
Okay, I definitely want to talk to you. I have some ideas. So
Okay.
not for me personally. I already know what I'm doing, and you know, but well, that's debatable. But anyway, I know some. I'm thinking of a group of people that might really benefit. So.
Okay, great. I'd look forward to talking with them.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay. Good morning, Brenda. Welcome. Would you like to go next?
Sorry, I keep forgetting mute and unmute. I was just going to give Gary a little bit of feedback before I go.
Okay.
I really liked what you did. I kind of agree with Nancy that you might need to just shorten it up just a little bit, pick a couple of key areas, and you could talk about different things depending on what event you're on or depending on who the audience is in that room. Okay. And a really clear call to action at the end, I think, is the only other thing that I would add is just let's jump on a Zoom to see how I can help you. And if you're talking to a room full of people that are already entrepreneurs, then I would say something along the lines of who would like to connect with me to help, so I can help you grow your business and see how we can work together, possibilities of collaboration. Because then if you've got a room where everybody already knows what, as Debbie said, knows what they're doing, then they might think, oh, there's no point. I'm going to waste his time. I'll waste my time. But if they know that there's a possibility of collaboration, then they'd be more likely to talk to you to see, okay, how could we work together? What can we do? Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to be back here again. I'm Brenda Sheldrick. I'm in Toronto, Ontario, and I help entrepreneurs to build their business by overcoming their fear of hearing the words no. I help them to make more money and gain confidence. So have you ever done a flawless presentation and then at the end of it just stopped and waited to hear for something, waited for a response, expecting positive that they were going to buy, but not hearing anything? I have. It's happened to me lots of times. And before I found selling on the spot marketplace, it was almost a daily occurrence. I would do fabulous presentations, but I would never present a call to action. And I didn't present the call to action because I was afraid that they were going to say no. And if they said no, it meant they didn't like me. It meant I'd done something wrong. So through training with Jane and through working at Selling on the Spot Marketplace, I have learned to always ask for the sale. It taught me to just ask. If they say no, it means not now. It doesn't mean never. Who would like to learn to always ask for the sale automatically? I have events coming up. I offer 2 events a month. And for this event, for Laurel's event, I have a special going on. Sorry, Nancy. We have 3 tickets available for my friends in the US.
I know, and I didn't know that when I set this time up.
And yeah, we are competing with one of our events right now, actually.
I know it. Yep. I've already got several messages back and forth. It is what it is. Like I said, I'll try and do better and not do that anymore because I support you guys. You guys know I do in everything that you do.
So what I am offering today and tomorrow's the last day for this special, you can get 3 tickets. The regular price of the tickets is $30 Canadian. But I am offering 3 tickets for $30 US to anyone who has not purchased a package before. So I think that would be you, Gary. If you're interested in more information, let's chat.
All of us have attended before, so we don't qualify.
Oh, and my hashtag, Nancy helped me with it yesterday, hashtag SOTSM Brenda.
There you go. Because she is one of their licensees and we're trying to get them all on the same branding page, but we want to differentiate Brenda so that we know when her events are. Do you have a set time, Brenda, for yours each month? I know you said you do them 2 times a month. Is there a set and schedule for you?
So I do have a set schedule. Mine are the second and fourth Thursday of the month. Second Thursday of the month is a morning event. It runs from 10 a.m. till 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the fourth Thursday of the month is an evening event, runs from 6:30 till 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Fabulous.
And I accept payments through PayPal or
Okay,
Eventbrite.
make sure you put your links over there if you haven't already. Okay. The only thing is she needs to sit up in her chair so that we can see her.
That's true.
That's the banner issue because
I know it.
Don't block the banner.
I know it, but we can see that Selling on the Spot, but we need to see your beautiful face. There you go.
So Brenda, there's times I don't have a banner behind me now, but I do at times. And sometimes you have to just place pillows on your chair because you're a little bit to the side. I know sometimes it's just like maneuvering, but you get just a little bit higher up.
That's a good point. Can you maybe adjust it just a little further down? Because we can still see, we can help you now just to sort of how to set up the adjustment if you like. Because I know I can turn my desktop like that. Can you do yours a little bit? There you go. Because we can still see the Selling on the Spot.
That's better.
Yeah, much better.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, and good ideas from Debbie too about, I don't know if your chair is adjustable or
Red pillows or,
on there. Yeah, good idea, Deb.
Or books for your laptop, whatever works. You just
keep adjusting.
Sometimes I will turn on Zoom, nobody else on it, just to see and practice before I get on one. I didn't do that today, but I do that.
And that's something I keep finding confusing because Jane always cautions us about like the up the nose shot, avoiding the up the nose shots.
Right.
And it when I look at my screen right now, I'm in the middle of it. But Jane will usually say to me, you need to raise the monitor up. You need to raise your monitor up some
I
more.
agree.
So
Right.
my judgment, I guess, is not what you guys see.
Well, I put my monitor, I just have a box, and I use the same box so I know the height, because otherwise, so it's, you know, I'm pretty even with it. I even like to be just a little bit below it. And I agree. I don't like the up the nose shots either, but if you'll practice, just try different things with nobody else on Zoom. You can even record it and, you know, like try this, try the lighting, do this, do that, and then see what works the best.
That's the other thing I have.
A
Even
lot.
with the blinds, I have big problems if it's really sunny. Because
Yeah,
on really sunny days, it still kind of turns me into a shadow character.
right.
Yeah, so that's
So if
where
you have a
lighting comes
light,
in. I noticed you just turned light on, so that's good.
I added another light, yes.
That's good, yeah.
right. When I
Okay.
used to do a lot of online, and so I had a green screen behind me, and I had lights, you know, like on, you know, just positioned. They were like, you know, for video camera lights, and so that way you know, you looked the best on camera. Now they have like the ring lights, and since you're on camera so much, that might be a really good investment, and they're portable. You can just kind of move them everywhere.
That's what I
And right
have.
now, yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh, there you go.
So when I'm doing my videos, like live videos, especially you want to turn it sideways too, right? When
Hey,
you do it works
Liz,
great.
would you put in the chat what brand you have or where you got that? Because I've been
Yes,
looking
that
at some.
That
I
would be
think I
very
just went
helpful.
on to Amazon and I'll go through my order status and take a look and then, yeah, let you know.
Okay.
It's great because that's the other tip. I don't know if you guys have covered this, but the other tip somebody told me the other day was when you're doing live videos, don't do them this way or any video. Always do it this way because then you won't have those bars showing up.
Right. I was at an event and they're like, no vertical video, no vertical video.
Yep. Yep.
And the other thing, since we're on the cell phone discussion, is I got one of those, I'm trying to think of what it's called here, the little muffle that you can plug in just like a microphone, and it's a speaker. And let me tell you what, it works. It takes out if you're outside or something like that and you've got a lot of wind, that will really take care of that. So for some of you who may be doing some videos outside or have some noise in the background or whatever, it's a little noise muffler and it just plugs into the, you know, just like your microphone does, right into your speaker, and you can do your videos. And I've used that quite a bit. So
I have a Rode mic like that, and it's got a really long, you know, really long cord. It doesn't fit into my present cell phone, but it does. It has the fuzzy ball, and it's amazing what it does. And so depending on the level of how much you're going to be online and video, another good investment.
and I think probably maybe one of our topics, Debbie, that we should be covering since we're having this discussion would be tools of the trade. You know, some of the things, since so many people are on Zoom and doing these videos and all of that stuff, we probably should put that on the agenda for an upcoming event, because I think that would be very helpful, you know, the marketing materials and all these different things.
Right.
So Nancy, would you like to go again and shorten your pitch down just a little bit and let us give you some more feedback? We have time.
Debbie hasn't gone yet.
Oh, good grief. Yes. Well, last night, I tell you what, I missed Marcia and now I'm missing Debbie. Sorry, Debbie, go ahead. Thank you for keeping me on track, Nancy.
Okay. I feel like after Laurel's event this morning, I was just like going, whoa, my head. And I was
Right?
having conversations. So anyway, well, hi, I'm Debbie McKinney, and that's Debbie with the Y from Niceville, Florida. And I'm a health and wellness expert with Zurvita. And these days, so I've been in this industry for 30 years, and it started with a personal health crisis. And so today I get three main questions: is how do I boost my immune system? How do I lose weight without cravings and, you know, keeping it off? And how do I reduce stress and anxiety? And so today it's even more important to be healthy. And I use a product named Zeal for Life. Has anybody heard of it? So actually that'll be my tagline will be that Zeal stuff. And so when was the last time you felt on top of your game? Do you have health issues, or are you a health enthusiast? So my story is that 30 years ago, or so anyway, so 4 years ago, I had an accident. And even with all I know with about health and wellness, I was hardly sleeping. I was so tired. I didn't even want to go out to the mailbox, and I've always been a happy person, but really felt down. And somebody introduced me to Zeal for Life. And it was only because of the person that I really respected, because most of the things that people bring me, it doesn't even pass the sniff test. I had, within 20 or 30 minutes, I felt better, and I continued to take it. And within 20 or within 2 to 3 weeks, I was up, I was going out. But the best part was 2 or 3 months later, I went to a festival, and I'm walking up to my friend's booth, and she didn't even recognize me. And that surprised me. All of a sudden she says, "Debbie," she goes, "I didn't recognize you. Your face is slimmed down. You're slimmer." And I hadn't even been trying to lose weight. And so that got my attention. So I've used the product for 4 years, but with the recent COVID, I've had to pivot, and now doing this as a business. And so my offer is to let's have if you want to talk about health alternative, I have a huge background. Would love to talk about Zeal for Life and send you a science update report. However, if I can help you in any way, I'm happy to do that. So just put the hashtag #JustAddZeal in the chat. I look forward to getting to know you better.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the vital components that she included in her pitch. Who can name something that got your attention?
Personal testimonial.
Yes, yes. Personal testimonials. If you have that in any shape, form, or fashion, you need to use it, because when it's personal to you or your family member, you've lived it, breathed it, died it, that comes out. You can tell when somebody is telling something that happened to them versus somebody else or a third party event. So that's one thing. What else did she do?
I really like since Debbie was mentioned to me that I should use questions, so I was kind of listening and watching for that, and I liked that because I get, that was great feedback for me. So then I was looking for it to see, and that is a greater impact because it keeps the people engaged with what you're saying. Yeah, I like that.
And I know over at the Laurel event, we're supposed to be doing one-on-ones and having conversation. So in that setting, you would pause and you would wait, but we don't do that here right now. We're just practicing our pitch and learning and trying to help each other, improve. But questions, testimonials, what about her credibility? What did she use to back up her credibility?
Other people noticing the change in her.
Yep. So it wasn't just her idea. And then what did she say about her background, her expertise? Do you remember in the beginning? She talked about a pivot.
Right.
That she had to do. So she possibly could have been doing something else, which I think she talked about in the beginning. And then she pivoted into how she's now using this as a business. So for people who could relate to that, some of us were doing something else, and then all of a sudden they've had to pivot. Their ears might have perked up and they might have thought, she pivoted. I wonder if I could pivot or how I could pivot like that. So maybe Deb's the person that I need to talk to. So for me, I thought that was, of course, I've been doing a series in my newspaper column on pivots. And so I'm listening for that keyword. So anyways, that kind of hit me. What about you, Gary? Did something stand out to you, or do you have some feedback that you could give Debbie?
No, I think the pitch was pretty good, and I agree that it did cover those areas. And I'm not as familiar with those as probably others in here are, but the personal testimony and then backing that up with the second testimony from her friend, I think was a great touch there.
The other thing is at the end, what if you're not familiar with this technology? What if that freaks you out thinking about, oh my gosh, I wonder what she's doing. What has she done? She's offered you a scientific report that I'm sure is going to give you an outline and details on something about this technology. Am I correct, Debbie?
That's correct. And you know what? I did this a little bit different. And excuse me, I did say that I have 30 years in this industry. And normally I tell a little bit more about that, but I cut that out. And that's a good point, because I have a science update report, because the product is, you know, it has clinical trials, and they did it on healthy people. You know, sick people, there's a lot of things that can help, but it's hard to move the needle with healthy people. So I think I will add that into that.
That would be good.
Okay.
Anybody else have some tips for her on how she could improve, or something that you noticed that you liked?
Just one more thing about what you just said, and a lot of times on products and things like you're talking about, people think, well, I'm not sick, so I don't need it. And that's where the wellness testimonial, if you will, would be even more impactful to reach a greater audience.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And with the Ask Tell Ask, just that, because I've been I've been asking, are you a health enthusiast or do you have health challenges? So that's something that I just started, because I've dealt with some athletes and we actually have sports nutrition. So that kind of like, that's a good point. So it kind of covers both areas.
Yeah, that is good.
Good.
That is good. That way, right away, you know, can kind of sort your tribe there.
Right. Okay.
Anything else? Okay, now since we've kind of went through that, let's talk about if any of you have any struggles that you're facing, or you need help with some strategy or any type of small business development issue that you might be facing, or some tips that you might give somebody here in the group today, or just in general. Anyone? How many of y'all are in Laurel's group today? Or Liz, you're in here, I'm in here. Okay, I'm just kind of curious to see. Okay, Nancy, you and Gary are not.
And Nancy had done it the last time, the other Nancy.
Yes, yes. I was just wondering if y'all are experiencing any challenges, or if you've learned any tips since you've been over there on how you're connecting with folks or anything like that, because it's a bigger, you know, it's a bigger group, and you've got to be quick about getting the contacts, and you've really got to be, you know, you need to follow up quickly. One of the things that I'd tell you that worked for me last time is on her post on Facebook, you know, she makes that post for us to do our Ask Tell Ask. You need to get over there if you've not done it, and you need to post that on there and have your contact information. Then the other thing you need to do is, just because nobody has reached out to you doesn't mean that they don't, A, need what you're offering, or B, want to become a referral partner. Because one of the things that I say, and y'all will hear me continuously say it, you'll get tired of me hearing it, not everybody is your customer. But 100% of every single person in your sphere of influence is your referral partner. They just need to be trained. And so in order to do that, they have to, A, know who you are, be able to identify who you are and what you do, who you can help, and know what to listen for, so that when they come across that in their daily interactions, they'll recognize that, oh yeah, I know somebody that can help with that. Let me connect you. And then connect with them. And that's critical. We do really good about gathering names, gathering business cards, and getting all hyped up at these events and everything, but you've really got to work on your follow-up. And this is going to be stressful for everybody who's never been in this kind of environment. So be patient. Just because they don't answer you back right away doesn't mean that they're not interested or they're not going to. So you might give it a couple of days and then do it again, because, you know, we've got this big push over the weekend. So next week, you know, you might Tuesday or Wednesday reach out and start trying to make some appointments with just meeting folks and learning about their business. Does anybody else, do y'all have any tips that you'd like to share with the group to make the most out of these virtual marketplaces? Yes, Nancy.
Okay, I did Laurel's last month, and I did not have one person that I triggered their curiosity about what I offered. So I have two comments. One is a question, the second one is a comment. So what I did was just what you suggested. I had taken down a whole lot of people's contact information, and I contacted them and I asked them, would you like to do a one-on-one to get to know each other better? And I have met so many people have been responsive to me because people want to share more about what their business is really about. And I like to get to know people personally, and I use another format along with the ATA to really know about their families and what their struggles are, blah, blah, blah. So I'm very happy with what you said, because I'm happy that I have connected with so many people, and I have been able to plant seeds for Nikan, because what I offer is unique and many people do not know about it. Now, my next question is,
go ahead.
How do I really trigger curiosity so that I will have people call me instead of me calling them?
Well, first of all, your pitch has improved 1,000%. And you're asking the right questions now. You wasn't, and I told you that. Everybody here can attest to that. You can go back on my videos.
Right.
You had to get that pitch down so that when you say something, people take notice and listen. And now you have those components in place. So I don't think that you're going to be having those issues anymore. To be honest, we all have those issues, and you're still going to have to reach out. But just in your introductions, when you say those first few things in the beginning, everybody knows somebody like that.
Okay.
So you have, I mean, honestly, and everybody here can attest to that that's listened over the last couple of days. Go ahead, Debbie.
I was going to say, because I know Nancy has talked to a lot of people, and because she connects with me on some of them, and that's something that I want to do. I'm going to consistently add, like, looking for referral partners as part of what I do. And I love getting to know people. See, when we're just pitching like this, because I like getting to know somebody and seeing like the 30,000 foot view. And I'm an entrepreneur, I've done coaching, mindset. So I have like this whole background. And so really what I want to do is get to know them, they get to know me, and form like real relationships and more connections. And so, but with something like this, we're doing specific things, but I like the idea of the referral partners.
Yes, and that is so important. And that's what, as we go through here, you'll be noticing each time I'm going to be asking you to share a little bit more about yourself. And one of the things I think everybody here has participated in now is you cannot have a meeting with me until you have done what? What's my step one? Who knows?
Fill out the form, the questions.
The questionnaire. Why? I don't want to waste your time or my time. I want to make the most of that 15 minutes that we have together so we can really get in the nitty-gritty, talk to one another, and learn where we can both bring value to each other. That starts that relationship. And I have had more comments on that. And, you know, some people, you can't do anything in 15 minutes. And I laugh because now I've got this standard reply. Really? Ask the 75 people that I meet with every week one-on-one to see how that worked for them. They will tell you it's powerful. And then we set up for the next appointment. I invite you to the Lunch and Learn, and we'll talk about funnels a little bit later. But anyways, it's a system and it's working. So you could adopt the same thing for you. And I'm like you, Debbie, it's all about relationships. When you're building these referral partnerships, it doesn't start with, and Laurel's mentioned it too, you don't ask somebody to marry you right away. You know, you ask them out for coffee, then you ask them out for dinner, and you do all these things. Well, the first step is let's get to know one another. Tell me about your business. Don't just, and I have evolved over the years. You know, I guess I was a self-centered jerk when I was younger, but I was so excited because of what I had to offer that I just wouldn't shut up talking about it. And so what I have learned over the years, and still a work in progress. But
We
anyways,
all are.
let's talk about you. Tell me where I can be of service to you. What is it you're looking for? Those are magic words to people. They love to hear that. They love to talk about themselves. So you're on the right track, Nancy. And, everybody's not going to be beating down your door for a bit. Eventually word will get out, just like our group. Buzz is getting out. I get texts, emails, and Facebooks every day about saying, oh my gosh, I've been hearing what y'all are doing over there. Love it. It's not like anything else that anybody's doing. Well, yeah, that's why we come up with it, huh, Debbie? So we saw a need and we wanted to do this for folks because I think it's very valuable. So you're on the right track. You've got your pitch down. Now you just need to practice that and perfect and get it shortened and tightened up a little bit.
And Nancy, I know the Nikin products are kind of experiential.
Yes.
And so it's, so how do you so think about this, how do you get that experience when we're doing things virtually? And I'll kind of give you an example. This is not necessarily how you do it virtually, but I was in Dallas, Texas, working for a world-renowned holistic physician, did medical conferences, training, the whole thing. Moved to Niceville, Florida, like in the early 90s, and there's nothing here. But I went to so I had already heard about magnets, how they work, and they were using them for like healing diseases. I mean, serious diseases. So, but I was like, okay, I've got that knowledge. So I went to a health food store. They were doing a demonstration. They put a magnet on my chest. They asked me where I was having difficulties. I was having trouble breathing. I put a magnet on my chest and I could breathe better. Yeah, it looked different then, but same thing. Matter of fact, I have a magnet on my chest right now. And so there was my experience. And that was 1995, and I've used the products ever since. I was a distributor, but since 2000, I haven't been. I'm just a user of the product. So, is it videos? Is it something else? How can they get an experience, with the product? Because once you do try it, it's amazing.
Right. And that's where I am feeling so challenged because as you know, okay, I love doing just that, the experiential. And how do I convey to somebody how great my water?
Okay, so there's people that are doing this in Nikin, and I recognize names that were even in there when I was there in 95. So there's people that have figured this out within Nikin.
Yeah, that we do have videos.
Okay, but just find out what they're doing. It doesn't necessarily have to be video. Who's being successful like in these times, and find out what they're doing. Model it.
Yeah, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. That's why I love the fact of having all these people from all these different industries in here, because we all have different experiences that we can share. And probably 7 out of 10 will work across the board for somebody else. Now, there's some that just will not work for each other, but there's a lot that will.
And I have a question.
Questions are 2 for 99 cents. I told you that, Brenda. But for you, I'm going to give you a deal.
So Nancy, I'm wondering why, like, it sounds like you think that somehow you're at a disadvantage because they're not coming to you. If you're booking these calls, these discovery calls with people, then obviously they see something in what you're saying that they're curious about, because otherwise, if I'm not curious, if I'm not the least bit interested, I'm not going to book a call. Even if someone asks me would I like to book a call, I'm not going to book a call with people I'm not interested in at all.
Even if you want to tell me about what you have.
Not if I don't think, no.
Okay.
Now,
So,
some people will do that. They'll book an appointment just to tell you, but that's not everybody. So think about who it is that you want to form relationships with.
And again, ask for a referral. Just because you don't, you may not need what I offer. Who do you know that might have some chronic pain that you can introduce me to? who of your friends, family, whatever, you know, because we all have them.
And one of the things that I discovered through not my selling on the spot work, but through my other business, which is Primerica, one of the things I discovered through Primerica is not everybody is going to be a Primerica client. Not everybody is going to be a Primerica representative. But if I ask them to talk to me about them, right? Tell me what you do. Tell me how I can help you. And then I actually follow through. So they tell me how they, so, okay, now there's a difference. I do not buy everything that everybody offers. So this is particularly a thing when I meet with people who are in multi-level marketing, right? You want to tell me about your essential oils, and then you say to me, the way you can help me is to buy my essential oils. Well, okay, I am already a consumer of essential oils from one company. I am not looking for another company for essential oils. So tell me how I can help you. And if they say to me, well, I'm looking to meet more people. Well, then I ask more questions. What kind of people do you want to meet? What kind of financial background? What kind of jobs do they do? Create me an avatar for what you're looking for. Or I have two other questions, and this is kind of a gift because I'm creating a course around this. But I have two other questions that I've been trained to use that are fabulous when talking to people. The first question I ask them is, if I were to ask you what the biggest pain point was in your business, or what your biggest struggle is right now today, what would your number one thing be? And then they tell me. And then I say to them, if I was to ask you what your greatest strength or the greatest thing that you can offer to people is, what would you tell me? And then they tell me. And once I have those two answers, then I say to them, so if I could connect you with someone who their greatest pain point is your greatest strength, would that be helpful to you in your business? And most people will say,
Yes.
yeah, they'll say yes, because I'm offering to solve their biggest problem today. And so they say, but can you really do that? And I'm always honest with them. I say, look, I do hundreds of these calls every week, which is the truth. I do hundreds of these calls every week. I may not know somebody who can solve your pain point right now today, but what do you think the likelihood is that over the course of the next couple weeks, I would come across somebody who can solve your pain point or who has a pain point that you can solve? If I'm talking to 100 people a day, you're implementing the power of compound interest.
Right.
You're compounding your reach, because if I'm looking at 100 people and going, can Nancy solve their problem? And every time I see one that Nancy can solve their problem, then my next step is I say, I would like to do an introduction. So I very seldom just give a referral by saying, okay, talk to Liz. I'll give you Liz's contact information.
Right.
But Nancy has been good at that, because she's referred some people to me and for different events and things like that. So she's good at giving like introductions.
Yeah. And I think the introduction is one of the really strong things, because if you give an introduction and if that has a very positive outcome, and eventually you will have one that's going to stick and it's going to be a positive outcome, the person you just helped is now going to be your biggest advocate. They're going to say, oh, you got to talk to Nancy. She helped me. Oh, you got to go see what Nancy does. She helped me. And they're going to be actively searching for people who can solve their problems.
I think
you just
you
multiply
gotta
yourself
coach
without
those
even
people,
recruiting.
though. Yeah, I think you got to coach your clients, though. I find I have to sometimes coach them or send them thank you cards, and just as reminders.
Yes.
Just
It's a lot of it is, and you talked about it, it's the relationship building stuff that you like to do. And a lot of it, we want everything to be instant. We want everything to happen on the first call. And ideally, I would love that too. I would love everybody that I do a Primerica presentation to become my client immediately. I would love them all to provide me with 3 referrals so that I have an endless supply of referrals. But that's not quite realistic. And some people take longer than others to warm up. Some people are a little bit interested, but not sure. Some people, one of the slogans that they've taught me is they don't care what you know until they know that you care. And these are all just kind of suggestions and ways that you can actually, but there's no point in faking it.
Right.
If
And
you-
Brenda, I think we met in April. And so we were talking about the Zervita products and whatnot. And she told me that, you know, she was using a few or going through some things. And so sometimes when we hear no, you know, you need to clarify, is it no, never, or no, not now? And so I wanted to stay in touch with her, you know, and we have on these things here, but to develop a relationship over time and go from there. So it's like, is it no, never, or no, not now?
And you will be taught in all your sales classes, which I'm going to have a series coming up pretty soon, just a little teaser on some sales tactics. And one of the things is, just like Brenda mentioned, I believe it was last night or whatever, and just what Debbie just said, don't take no meaning forever. Just don't assume that. Just automatically up front that it just means not now, or they're going to be your referral partner. And in order to do that, you know, you're going to have to train them on how they can refer people to you. So do we have anything else that we'd like to discuss here today?
Oh, I have one other tip that I would throw out.
Okay, thank you, Brenda.
For any of you who have never looked at bank code, if you've never heard of bank code or you've never looked at it, look into bank code. You can get a consultation with Jane about it. Jane will tell you all about bank code. She's been using it for years. I've taken all of the training from her. And bank code helps you to take your pitch and tailor it to the personality type of the person you're talking to. So your knowledge person wants to know about your studies, but your strong nurturing, your person whose highest thing is nurturing, those studies, honestly, if somebody just throws a bunch of numbers at me, it puts me asleep. It doesn't incentivize me to buy. But if somebody talks to me about how it helps people and changes their lives, then I'm like leaning right in. Each personality has a different thing that really makes it work for them. And bank is the best one I've ever seen. I've taken a number of different personality programs. Bank is the best one I've seen for learning how to do that.
Okay, so Nancy, taking what she just said, you could change your pitch a little bit.
Yes.
To reflect a couple of different personality types there if you're in a group setting like this.
Right.
You know, you could
Because
lead off.
I come from the nurturing perspective. That's my personality style. And I know even as teachers, we tend to teach from our style, even though we know we have students of all different styles, that we need to find a way to reach them. So thank you, Brenda, for that reminder about bank. It is one of the best I've ever seen when it comes to really understanding for business perspectives too.
And that's not necessarily in your pitch. And I will ask people, like if I'm sending out more information, I'm like, and I haven't taken bank, but I'll just, do you want lots of information? Are you like the engineer type, or, what kind of things do you want? Do you want videos or whatever? And I try to tailor it that way.
Right.
That's a great idea. Great idea. Now also notice what she did. Okay, here we are. She gave basically a testimonial for Jane War, right? For bank. So she introduced all of us to a new product that we may or may not have known about. If we did know about it, she brought it to the top of the head reminder to remind us that that's a tool that's out there that we should be using. She gave us some good information, and what she did was she related it to something that somebody in here was doing. So that's a brilliant strategy. And she may or may not have done that on purpose, but it helped someone in this group. So if you have anything like that, please do that. Do that. Share your resources, share what you know, give these testimonials for other people, because you know, it's going to help you, it's going to help Jane or whoever else is doing the bank code, and it's going to help your clients in the long run, because you're going to be able to give them exactly what it is that they need based on their personality. So thank you, Brenda, very much. You have been very beneficial to our group, and we're so thankful and grateful to have you these last couple of times. Glad you could join us. Anybody else? Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close this out then. Thank you guys and gals for attending. I really, really appreciate you. I appreciate all your input. I love the cooperation and, you know, tips and techniques and all of that stuff. And Debbie and I are always open for suggestions on how we can make this forum better for you. We've improved, I think, each and every time. And it's just been, for me, I could do this 24/7 because I just love it that much. I mean, I truly do. I love connecting. I love building the relationships with you guys. I love watching you improve. I mean, it's so amazing from week to week, or when I talk to you on the phone, I can see and I can hear and I can feel the differences that you guys have done. So I really want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart, and I hope you'll join us again. Again, we've got this afternoon that session, and then this evening again, and you can use your same Zoom link, but if you would let me know. I'm not sure how many I've got coming at that next one. So if you could come and show up and participate, I'd greatly appreciate it. I think there's a lot more scheduled for this evening, but it would help us fill the room, and you could get some additional practice if you would join us on that mid-afternoon session.
I'm registered for all of them, Nancy.
Yay, Brenda, thank you. Debbie, any closing?
Well, it's interesting. Earlier today, I was on a Ask Tell Ask, and I told somebody about this, and I said it was you. She goes, "Oh my gosh, I haven't connected with her. She's like the Energizer Bunny." So I will give her the information, so she'll be on one of these. So.
Well, I got tickled at Nancy. She's been telling me every time she asks somebody for appointments, she said, they think it's you. And so they say, always say yes. And then she says they come back. And then she said, I've really met some cool people. So I just laughed. Said, yep, it's all good. It doesn't matter. We all want the appointment. So go for it. But all right. Well, y'all have a great evening.
You too. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Nancy.
Soon.
Thank you, Debbie. Nice seeing you, Gary. Bye, Brenda. Bye.
Thank you all.
Save your chat.
Yeah, save your chat. Brenda, save your chat.
I did.
I'm sure it's automatic for Brenda.
Safe.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.